All right, here we are on another episode of Salient Points. This one's number 118 for August 8th, 2023. I know it's only been like 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been like 7 years, man. Deo went to another planet, Yosemite, right? That would be like another planet, right? There's no street lights. There's no cars.
There's no electricity or internet. It was wild.
Yeah. I will say this.
He was unplugged.
I try not to do this. I try not to get too emotional, Dale, but I was like, there's something missing in my Twitter/X life. Where's Dale? I was like, oh, that man is camping. There's nothing from him. There's nothing from it. And out of the blue, out of like the dark void, I'm like, oh, Dale's tweeting again. He must not be camping. He must not be camping anymore.
I had like 20 tweets saved up, and I went like 30 today. I think it was.
Yeah. Let me put him in the draft real quick. I'm Carlos.
He went out into the woods with a piece of paper and a pencil and made sure he wrote some shit down so he could bring back with him.
Before I forget, I'm Carlos Macias, the host, the master of what, Dalan?
The master of the rat race.
Okay, yeah. Okay, off wax. Off wax. I asked Dalan what that means. Do you, on the record, Dalan, what is the rat race? You're on the record, Dalan. I don't do any editing. It stays in. All of it stays in.
According to Luis, and for his pleasure, I don't know.
Okay, Dalan. We usually get like some half-assed like explanations, like that's what this means. I'm like, that's not it. But thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty. Dalan Kirkwood from up in the mountains. Thank you for joining us.
You're not gonna tell me?
I mean, it's on wax, man. What if I get it wrong? What if I get it wrong at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I get it wrong?
See, I'm like, hold on.
What if I get it wrong?
The risk goes both ways.
It goes. Yeah. What if I get it wrong? You see, Dalan Kirkwood.
So reverse Uno card on you, sir.
There you go. No, you hit him with that. No, you. We also got Luis Mendez on the Wheels of Steel. Which, Luis, you hit up someone with the no you. You threw it in the chat. I hope that's okay to bring it up on wax. But you hit somebody like a customer service with the no you or something like that recently?
No, it wasn't customer service. Okay. It was just one of those, some person text me trying to like scam me. It was like,
snaps.
Posing as USPS, like, dear USPS customer, your package couldn't be delivered because the address is wrong. Click
this I get that.
And the link is like nothing USPS like not even trying to be similar. It's like maxhps.com. Like,
you hit him with that.
I just hit him with the no you.
Hit him with that.
It was even an iMessage, and the sender was like some wacky ass combination of numbers and letters. So some people fall for that shit, though. It's sad.
They do, man. It is sad. I mean, look, they'll tell. I don't know about you guys, but at work they'll sometimes test you, and every so often I'm like, ooh, what's this? This is interesting. It's coming to my work email for some reason, but I'll click it. And then they're like, we got you. You see, don't click on this shit. Don't click on it. This is what we're talking about. But the thing is,
additional training afterwards.
But they're so wacky because they're obviously trying to trap you, and it's like, this is kind of good. It's not as crappy as the other thing. So, but anyways,
an Amazon gift card? Hell yeah.
I'm at work. Let me get this like bonus real quick. Deo Blas, like we said, you were up in some mountains. Yosemite, those are mountains, right? I believe.
Those are the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Okay,
yes.
There you go, Deo Blas.
He was up in the high sticks.
The king of the Yosemite mountaintop. Thank you for joining us, sir. Glad to have you again on the podcast.
Sure. Dude, I missed you guys.
It's what? It's been a little while. Look, we missed each other so much that me and Dale like, you know what? We haven't done a scene tit. Let's talk about Twisted Metal. We can't get a podcast going. So if you guys haven't listened to that, we did talk about that, and we kind of sort of enjoyed it. We even gave it a review on there. But hey, let's get right into it. We're going to start off. I know there's a person on Twitter called Chrono Collie. She kind of asked a question saying, what was the video game that made you fall in love with gaming? Which Luis responded to saying, the first game I started to really play hardcore was Resistance Fall of Man. I miss those days. Google Docs doesn't want to give me the emoji, Luis, so I don't know what that emoji was that you put up.
Smiling emoji with the single tear.
Okay, there you go. I like that you use you just said the smiling one, because I use the frowny one, but the smiling one, I like it. I did very quickly though, Liz. I was thinking, this man, how old is this man? Resistance was like, I was like 27 years old or something when this happened. No, it was it was longer than that, but Resistance, was your hit.
Well, no, I obviously played games before then, but that was the first game where I was like, oh, I actually really like doing this. Like the first game that I think I actually played online, and then I kind of formed a group of online friends, and we created like one of the clans in Resistance, and there was even forums we got onto where you could like find people to 1v1 clan battles with and stuff, and Yeah, we would set up those kind of things regularly. So it was the first thing that I actually like really kind of dug my heels in and played a lot.
Okay, so that was kind of like a big it's like, damn, the games can be this. And I
mean,
hope
if we
you
want
were
to go that far back. My first game was Power Rangers on the Sega Genesis.
Ooh,
and
Wait,
X2.
are you talking about the Power Rangers
good.
movie video game or the fighting video?
It was the fighting video game.
Okay, the one where you could summon the Megazord in the background and shit, fighting on a big ass suspension bridge. Yeah, it was.
But I do hope you were enjoying that Resistance Fall of Man with that next gen rumble-less features of that controller of the PS3. Yeah. Remember when that launch was like, Rumble is old gen. It's like, bullshit, you guys didn't want to pay the what is it, the rates or whatever it's called, you know, they didn't want to play the Rumble situation.
It did have some interesting, because it was the first one with 6-axis, so like it had a feature where, you know, it wasn't anything like Lair or whatever, you fly a fucking dragon, but it was like, if you wanted to bring up the map or the scoreboard, you just kind of tilted the controller one way or the other. And kind of just held it that way. I found that to be fairly intuitive, actually.
Okay, well, I mean, and the Switch kind of does that stuff now too with a lot of their shooter games and stuff like that. So it hasn't gone away completely, right? I do not play it, but I've been playing it lately, and it does give you those options, right? But yes, this was the time when the PS3 was definitely like, that's old gen. Rumble is old gen. It's like, pay the fucking royalties, Sony. And my brother did say it's kind of hard to remember. Me and Aduce Clean, which is me on Twitter, had access to video games since we were toddlers in the early 90s. My response was, I don't know, I going back, I doubt it holds up as well as I think it does, as well as it holds up in my memory, but it was the Disney, the Mickey Adventure, the Mickey Illusion or whatever it was. I was like, this is kind of incredible.
Castle of Illusion?
Yes, Castle of Illusion. To me, that was incredible, man. That was kind of mind-blowing. I had played the Mario Brothers, loved those, but for whatever reason, it just held my attention, my imagination. I was like, this is incredible, and I died quite a bit. It's not that easy of a game either, man. Back in the day, now it's like I'm playing the new Disney Illusion game, and it's like it's just a piece of cake, right? It's just very quickly. But we did have someone that's a kind of a friend of the show, Alan Malo on Twitter. He said this was great, but it started with Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers on NES for me and my brother. Been killing the couch co-op since then. Now I'm gonna switch it over to Dalan and Deo real quick. What was your guys' kind of like, this is gaming is amazing and I will love it forever? If you want, we'll start with you, Dalan, if you like. What was your kind of game changer?
Well, when I was younger, my mom had an Atari and I enjoyed the Atari, and that's when I even started. Obviously NES, but that was more my sister. But then Super Nintendo came out, and I was playing Super Adventure Island and Mega Man X2. Mega Man X2 had me stuck. I was just on it, and after that, I was like, no, I just love Super Nintendo. I love video games. I
just love this thing. That's kind of the spirit of the question, right? Deo, which one hit you that differently, man?
I want to say, so I think I want to do what Luis was doing and say like my first game wasn't necessarily the one that got me super in love with the genre or with video games in general, but like I do remember playing Afterburner for the Sega Master System at my cousin's house, and I was just blown away that you could fly like this F-16 around the screen and like shoot down things. The only thing I couldn't do was land on the Harrier ship at the end of each level, so I had to ask him to land for me every time. But like I love that. I was like, this is crazy amazing. But the one that like really got me like obsessed, like super obsessed, was Soul Calibur 1 for the Dreamcast. And I remember putting money down. I remember losing a ton of money and friends for like a bit. Like it was scary.
Friends, he lost friends. Now, when you say the first one, do you actually mean Soul Calibur or do you mean Soul
Edge or Soul Blade?
Soul Calibur. Calibur 1. Yeah. Yes, there's Soul Edge, which is on PlayStation 1, but like that was kind of jank compared to Soul.
Yeah,
I have all of them, but like Soul Calibur was the one, dude. Soul Calibur.
Well, it's similar to like Virtua Fighter, right? Virtua Fighter didn't really come into it. So I mean, 1 was okay, 2, maybe 2 or 3, but 4 really was like blew it out of the water, man. That's the
one.
masterpiece right there, Virtual Fighter 4. Yeah. But yeah, so we got those kind of out of the way. Remember, you can like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and most likely you'll show up on the podcast, just like Malo did. He kind of was the one. I was like, you know what? Can we mention you? He's like, fine, that's cool. We'll mention you on there. Hey, but the big thing, we'll get right into the big thing. The one that's gonna cause a blast radius. We were waiting for it. We knew it was coming. Modern Warfare 3 is coming out in 3 months. November 10th, there was a 41-second trailer, and as Polygon says, it warns of quote-unquote the ultimate threat awaits in Modern Warfare 3, and all signs point to classic Call of Duty bad guy Vladimir Makarov. There's gonna be a full reveal on Warzone. That's expected August 17th, and yeah, I think this is what a lot of games have been waiting for. It's like, where do we move to now? Before, post, we gotta get out of its way. But of course, like I've said it on Wax before, I'm all about these campaigns, man. We've actually been getting into Warzone lately, believe it or not. We've actually gotten a couple chicken dinners in the last couple weeks, so I'm gonna be there August 17th. I guess we're gonna be there.
You're welcome for me being the it factor, by the way.
Maybe. I mean, look, we hadn't won one until Dalan decided up and joined us, and I was like, okay, Dalan, you are the X factor here. You got us a chicken dinner.
He dropped the armor, dude. He dropped the armor at the end for us.
He really did. It was pretty nice. Dalan, what do you make of this, man? You kind of you haven't bought Modern Warfare 2. We're still waiting on you, Dalan, to grab that Modern Warfare 2.
Hey man, life gets in the way. Hence why we haven't been on in a few weeks. Fair. But as for the fact that Modern Warfare 3 is dropping and you got that blast radius, honestly, I'm not 100% sure if it's the only thing with the blast radius at that point, because I know there are other games that are about to drop too. And
Starfield is one, I think.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh, there you go.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh, dude, we don't have enough time.
There.
Deo, did you put up a GIF or something? Was it you or you retweeted? It's like, I don't have enough time for none of this. And they're like, no, I don't have.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. And Starfield's one that, if not, like, it's going to take your money, like, it's going to take your time. Because, it's on Game Pass and all that stuff. But my bad, Dalan. I kind of stepped on the line.
I was going to say Assassin's Creed Mirage and Pandora. Or Avatar Pandora. There's some big games coming out.
Avatar Pandora, Dalan. I hope it's great, dude. I hope it's a 10 out of 10. But too. Avatar Pandora. Okay, Dalan.
Yeah, but it's been talked up so much that everybody's like, I need to get this game. Sure. But obviously, Modern Warfare is way higher on the list than Pandora. And they should probably move their timeline back a little bit for Avatar.
I think it's out in December, right? They'll be in that Callisto Protocol time where they don't sell enough and they got to lay off half the team. All right, they'll be right there. They'll be right there.
You need to get back to what was the name of that other game that I guess was Game of the Year? The Elden Ring. They need to move back. Yeah, they need to move back to an Elden Ring timeline for Avatar.
Okay, so Avatar is the next Elden Ring. A direct quote from Dalan. Luis, what do you make of this, man? What do you make of this, sir? What do you think?
Yeah, I've been there day one for Call of Duty for quite a bit now, and just like you, it's for the campaign. I get it for the campaign every year. They never disappoint. I don't think I've ever played a campaign since like Black Ops 1 that I haven't actually liked. And then the multiplayer is just they get their 100% hit rate for me so far. And then the multiplayer is just icing on the cake. But they've been teasing reveals for Modern Warfare 3 in Warzone and in the mode that we still haven't tried, which is basically their raid mode in Modern Warfare 2. They have like raid style missions.
Okay.
So supposedly at the end of this season's raid, there's a bigger sort of reveal into what Modern Warfare 3 is going to be.
I'm pretty hyped, man. It's really like one of those things that it's the popcorn summer blockbuster that we get in video games, right? It's really kind of the graphics are gonna be nice, the movement's gonna be smooth, buttery smooth. I know that Prue, our homie, doesn't like the dolphin jump and all that stuff, but go ahead.
But make sure to get it physical because it might be worth something someday.
Okay.
It might be worth something someday, like retrograde, intergrade.
Okay.
I like that $200 copy you have right there.
And this is.
Don't make me plot my steelbook on you.
Hey, and this is just
$500.
Look, and this is just like how they just early adopters, they spit on your face, man. Me and Dalan were there. Final Fantasy VII Remake, ready to go. Platinum the game. I don't know if you did, Dalan. Maybe you did. But and here we are. Like, you guys get a nicer one. Maybe paid a little less for it. Includes the DLC, and it's rare AF. So fine. Whatever, man. Early adopters always get screwed. That's just the reality of it. Dale, what do you think, sir? What do you think of this Modern Warfare 3 situation?
I'm excited because Modern Warfare is like a really good series, but the thing is, I have to catch up. I haven't even played Modern Warfare 1 or 2, so I have to get into that. I mean, I played the previous decades old ones, but like,
hey man, you don't have to. They got guns. You shoot people.
It looks so good.
The
problem,
story.
that's what I'm trying to get into, and even Vanguard looked good,
Yeah.
but like, I'm waiting to upgrade my PC with a good graphics card, and I just been like, still biding my time. So
yeah,
like,
I
really
think you have mentioned it on Wax before, there. I think like when I said before, it's like, dude, you catch up on these games. They're like 5 hours long. The campaign. If you're trying to just catch up on the campaigns, 5 hours, put it on normal difficulty, and you're good. You'll be caught up in a couple days, maybe a day or two. The next big thing, we've been kind of hearing some rumorings about some kind of Red Dead Redemption related thing. I think we might have put it on Wax as well before, but one of the things was we were hoping for like a remaster. Rockstar said no, fuck the bullshit, we're not giving you that. We're giving you a quote-unquote new conversion for the PS4 and Switch port that's out next Thursday for Red Dead Redemption 1. I was thinking, because I was kind of tripping out a little bit. I was like, wait, I played this game. I'm pretty sure I played it on PS5, but I'm like, I was thinking about the sequel. But Red Dead Redemption 1, new conversion, $50. People are like, really? You guys are charging us $50, less content, doesn't have the multiplayer. I don't even think it includes Undead Nightmare. But
wait,
yeah.
it doesn't have multiplayer?
It does include Undead Nightmare?
No multiplayer.
Okay,
Right.
but still, $50 for just a conversion. They don't even call it a port or whatever. People are up in arms. I know it kind of brought up some of the controversy or some of the conversation we were having with The Last of Us Part 1, that people were like, $70, I already played this game. That game, it was amazing though, like the graphics and everything that they kind of went in and did. So it kind of gives you a sense of like, Rockstar gives no fucks. And I know it was one of those things where people were looking to the GTA trilogy, if you guys remember, right, a couple years ago that came out, and they tried to kind of upscale it and make it better. And I think they looked at that and they said, nah, man, let's just do a straight port, a new conversion of it, and let's do that. There's a video, as far as the video that's up there for the announcement. Legacy Killer HD said that the Red Dead announcement video now has 28,000 likes to 56,000 dislikes, so the ratio is real. If you guys are thinking, like, why not Xbox? It's because on Xbox it's technically backwards compatible, right? You can kind of go back and do that. After all that complaining, and we'll send it to Deo real quick, because I know Lise might have some juicy stuff to say. For me, there's trophies, man. I played this game on 360. I might just grab it for the trophies,
man.
all right? I might wait for the physical, because I think the physical's coming out in October, maybe?
October.
Yeah, so maybe I gamefly it and grab some trophies. I know I said a lot of negative stuff there.
Carlos,
but,
you barely like to finish any video game, so I feel like you're gonna lose most of your life to this game.
At least this one's not as long as 2. 2 seems just impossible, dude.
Yeah.
When at some point they said, look, turn of the century, you can build your own house. We're about to build a house in this game. It's like, this game is long. This game is long. Deo,
This game is long.
what do you make of this wackiness, sir? We'll get to you and then Luis.
I mean, I get why people are pissed, because obviously Rockstar is still milking that Red Dead 1 heat or whatever, and but couldn't be me. I have my old copy of Red Dead Redemption for 360 sitting in the closet right now, so like, I'm saving my dollars. But it is cool that I believe this is the first time Red Dead Redemption is going to be on a Nintendo platform. Is this the first time?
Interesting.
From my understanding,
Maybe.
yes.
And it's going to be portable. So people who've never played it before, and like, the Switch install base is huge. And I'm sure not a lot of them try like mature games like this before from Rockstar. If they play this one and it's a good conversion, it might, find a new audience over there.
Hey man, you shouldn't put the fact that Carlos can play this game at work in his brain. Right?
See?
Hey, but no trophies though. That's the key, man. When Nintendo adds, and the funny thing is they add little. If you guys have played some Nintendo games, they will add like little trophy type thing. I'm playing like I was saying, the Disney Illusion game. It has a bunch of little trophies that pop up randomly. It's like, if Nintendo added it like system wide, my life would be over, dude. I will say this though, as a counter, I did see people online on Twitter /X. They were talking about, like, I can't believe they're charging $50 on the Switch for Red Dead. It's like, it never came out there. It never came out there. So it is like a new game on Nintendo systems, like you were saying, Dale. So they're being a little wacky in some senses.
And according to Nintendo, it's evergreen. So you know what? You're just gonna get the original price.
There you go. Luis, what do you make of this, sir? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so this is way different than when the leaks were kind of coming out, especially because the code names and stuff that people found like in the launcher and on the website were hinting towards a remaster versus like a remake, or a remake versus a remaster. So it's pretty disappointing, I would say. To be fair, it does look better than the original, but it still doesn't look current gen, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying, not that it's completely impossible, because they did this with Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4. They added an option to upgrade to 60 FPS if you were playing it on the PS5. So it's totally possible that you can still play this at 60 FPS, but people are saying it's probably not likely. Yeah, it's very disappointing given the fact that they have all the game members already from RDR2. They've got all of New Austin in Red Dead Redemption 2, and if you go outside of the map, you can go into pretty much the entirety of Mexico, and it's like all there. So yeah, that's the first game. So it is a little disappointing that they didn't go that whole route. Maybe they're saving it for 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. But yeah, this is made by not Grove Street Studios, who did the GTA port, but this is Double 11. And apparently before this, they've worked on Fallout 76, Minecraft Dungeons, and the console version of Rust. So it's not a terrible track record, but it's also not something that kind of jumps out of the page. Although, I guess if you consider Fallout 76, maybe that wasn't that.
Yeah. They're not like a Blue Point Games or something like that.
Now, do you like, I kind of threw it out there. I don't know if you kind of paid attention to that point, right? But do you feel like because with Grove Street Studios or whatever those guys were called, they were like, all right, clean this up, make it look nicer. Do you think Rockstar might have been like, you know what, people were pissed at that, it was Trash Boy, let's just do a conversion, let's just do they don't even call it like a remaster, or do you think it was one of those things potentially that it was like, you know what, whatever, man, just drop the code here, you know, compile.
I mean, it might be. Yeah. It's not like it was that long ago that happened. It can't have been more than 3 years ago. I think it was something like 2 years ago. So if they were going that route, it's a very short time to make that pivot. I think they were already working on this.
Okay, but do you plan on replaying it potentially on your Switch? Or
no, I'm not buying this version.
Okay, I like it. I like it because you're a pretty.
If you're game flying it to get the trophies, send it back. Sure, that's different. But I'm not buying this.
Okay, that's very fair. But yeah, that's what we got out there. Make sure you guys. I'm sure you guys have your comments as well. We'll go into quick takes real quick. Switch 2 is coming to the second half of 2024, if we are to believe VGC. VGC Video Games Chronicle says that some quote-unquote key partner studios already have development kits for it. Nintendo is kind of hoping to have ample stock for summer, fall launch versus March 2017. If you guys remember when the Switch first came out, it was kind of a little hard to get, right? Even though I got 2, I did get 2. I was like, let me put 2 pre-orders here. Yeah, so second half of 2024, from what I understand, it's not going to be a SWOLED edition, which I'm sure they're going to sell us that a couple years from now, right? We'll get the SWOLED one. But yeah, Switch 2, it's out there. It's out there in the wild. Just to kind of give you a couple like sales rundown, because this kind of came about around this time when the Switch, we were getting some Switch sales. The Switch is at 129.53 million hardware units, which makes it, I think, like the third best-selling hardware behind like Game Boy and PS2. And remember, the PS2 was because we didn't have DVD players a lot. People were buying those for like, this is a DVD player and Gran Turismo? I love it. So the Switch is, I think it'll get there though. I think it, give it one more year, it potentially could get there. 129.53. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is at 55.46 million copies, which is ridiculous. Which is
it's not gonna,
that's almost half the install base. That's fucking
crazy.
And
on top of that, people out there losing their Mario Kart cartridges and stuff like that, so they gotta go rebuy the game.
It's ridiculous, man. Tears of the Kingdom, as well as Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, is at 18.51 million, which is almost double kind of what Call of Duty sells. So it's kind of significant for a single player game. And I think it's trending like to sell faster and more than Breath of the Wild, which is at 30.65 million. Another little quick thing that I kind of enjoyed was in the launch schedule, which includes Metroid Prime 4. That is, when is it coming out? I just, whatever, man. That's my Prince of Persia Sands of Time for Dalen, all right? That's Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4 will never come out.
I want
it. He's got one single tear coming down his
logo,
with the happy face though, the happy face single tear. But I did like that one of the titles that they were like, these are upcoming games is, quote, Princess Peach will star as the main character in a brand new game. Temporary title, end quote. But that's like in the launch schedule. All right, that's the whole title. But yeah, anyways, Switch 2, big sales. Dalen, we'll go to you first on this, man. Whatever you want to comment on the Switch 2, the high sales of the original hardware, whatever you want.
My thing is with the Switch 2 coming, if it actually does come out in any respect that they talk about, because I know they've been talking about these dev kits been out for a little while now, is the one thing I'm hoping to see anytime soon is actual emulations for the Nintendo Wii. So I want to play some Mario Galaxy on the Switch 2 if I can.
Okay, there you go. Dale, what do you make of this, man? What do you think? Is Switch 2 sales?
About time. I think it's way overdue. We need some new Switch hardware because playing Bayonetta and sometimes parts of Tears of the Kingdom is very difficult. It's strenuous.
Yeah,
hardware.
It's struggling, dude. It's a stinky Switch. It's a stinky Switch. It's surprisingly smooth though. Like if Tears of the Kingdom, it's still like, yes, you notice those drops in frames, but I'm like, there's a lot of shit happening on the screen, and it's handling it, and it's handling it. So there's still masters.
Like remember when we were younger, and like a game would tax a system like really hard and slow down everything, and we were like at first impressed back in the day, like, whoa, this game is so powerful and creative that it's like stressing the system. That's how we used to think, but now that's not the case.
No, we know better.
Yeah.
Fucking know better. Especially there's a Steam Deck out there. There's all these stuff like we know better. Go ahead, Dalen.
No, I can only think that the over stressing part, because I used to think that way too, obviously. But there was the point where Metal Gear Solid 3 got ported from PS2 to the Nintendo DS or 3DS, and it crashed the system. And I was just like, this game is too powerful. You just can't do it, man. There's too much happening.
Too much happening. Luis, what do you think, man? What are your thoughts on all this?
I guess two questions for the council here for you three.
Okay.
One thing I've noticed is, curiously enough, from these leaks, we're missing whether or not it's going to be backwards compatible. Do you guys think it will be?
I mean, if it's the same architecture, why not, right? Like,
unless they want to sell more Mario Kart,
they'll sell another one. They'll resell it. Dude, they're still working through the Wii U catalog on the Switch.
Yeah, I want to say yes.
I'm very sure that it will be.
Okay, all right, it's on wax.
But I hope they bring back some sort of like virtual console experience instead of like the subscription service right now, where I could like buy individual retro games or whatever.
They're never going back, man. Once they got the taste of the subscription money, man.
Once they lock in $50 a year, they're like, ooh.
They even got half of this podcast. Half of this podcast, it pays $50 a year, man. For just for Pokemon Puzzle League, really. But still, they got us. Go ahead, Dave.
What I want them to do is to create an attachment like the I guess Game Boy Advance or something like that, where you could actually plug something into it and put old cartridges into it. I'd love to have something like that.
Because they used to think of us. Remember the first versions of the DS had the DS game, and then on the bottom you could play Game Boy games.
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. I still remember how they had to plug it. You had to plug in a little flashlight in the Game Boy Color.
They really used to care. But look, this was all pre-App Store, man. Pre-App Store, dude. The App Store changed the game, dude. For the worst, I think, for the most part. But they changed the game. Go ahead,
And
Dalan,
now-
before we move on.
Do we
I was
think-
going to say
Oh,
sometimes
go-
you just can't be
Lu-
physical stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
Luis.
because I have two questions. I
Okay,
have
what's
two
the
questions.
second one?
Yeah.
What's the second one?
And now, do we think that the Switch 2 will finally be as powerful as a PS4, or will it still be just half the horsepower?
It's gonna be
Hell
two. It's
no.
gonna be two Wii's duct taped together, dude. Again, just like a little, just a little more power.
Damn, not even PS4 performance. Huh? Damn.
Hey, it's gonna be the Ionic of the video game world. That's what it's gonna be. We're just gonna have two tablets
so
stuck
sad, dude.
together.
And we don't have hope. I'm gonna be there day one, but I don't have hope that it's gonna be great. All right, it's gonna have the software, and eventually Metroid Prime 4 will become from vaporware to something real and tangible that I can have in my life.
It'll come with an LCD screen, for God's sakes. They're not going to be as powerful as a PS4.
Hey, I know this one's way off course, but if we're done with this topic, I do want to bring up another topic that is actually not. On
Maybe
the
Luis wants to answer his own question.
All right, answer your own question, Luis.
Okay, you don't want to. Okay.
There you go.
I don't think it'll be as powerful as a PS4, and I don't think they'll be backwards compatible.
Okay.
Oh,
All right,
damn.
Dalen.
That's a sad one.
Before we head
On
into
wax.
head into some Evo stuff, Dalen, what are you thinking? What do you want to?
Well, this thought of the Switch being like two tablets put together made me remember that PlayStation is trying to come out with their new handheld system with that nice tablet and the nice whatever that is, with splitting the PS5 controller in half. I mean, we haven't actually talked about what do you guys think
just
of this?
No, we
set it
did.
to your
We did
phone.
talk about it. If you listen to
Right.
Reasonably Hyped, Dalen,
Oh.
with featuring Deo and myself, you would have known.
Okay.
But it's a cloud-based system that's gonna be trash, boy. It's gonna be trash, boy. All right, it's gonna be trash. There it is, Dalen, in a nutshell. But Luis, did you have thoughts? And we'll get you on.
Oh yeah, it was just from what I remember. It's just you pull the controller apart, pop in your phone, and then play, right? And it only works on iOS. Or am I
No,
thinking-
no, I
that's
think
a different thing.
yeah,
Oh, it's a different product. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a backbone or anything like that. It's like literally they stuck a Nintendo Switch LCD portion into like the middle of a DualSense controller.
They just cut the DualSense
But
controller
it's
in
only
half.
cloud based. It's only streaming and cloud based. You don't like install games directly onto the device.
Hey man, I tried streaming Ken a Bridge of Spirits, and I had to not do that. I had to stop at 10
I had
minutes into
to,
that game.
I had to
was like,
walk away. It's so trash, man. We have these amazing connections and whatever, dude, but it just doesn't work. And I'm like, you could literally be right here next to your PlayStation. It's gonna be a trash experience trying to play it through cloud. So no, I don't have high hopes for that, Dylan. Go back to Reasonably Hyped and get the full episode on that, the full breakdown. Hey, we'll go into Evo. Evo 2023 was in Vegas this past weekend. Dale, that's actually kind of what the Dale barrage was from starting from Evo, like Friday, I guess whenever he came back from camping from the mountaintop. But
Oh my God.
the next Evo is 2024, July 26th, 28th. But anything kind of a highlight of this show, Deo?
Well, considering the day, so next year's Evo is already announced, which is weird because they don't really announce it till like way later on through the maybe December timeframe. What's hilarious is that the mayor of Las Vegas came to
that's
Evo
right.
and announced that August 6th will always be called Evo Day in Las Vegas. But next year it's going to be July 26th to 28th.
That's pretty good, man. I like it. You would think they try to match it up, right? Like it's like, hey, let's make it around this time. Let's make it around.
Oh
this
my
time.
God, that was like a
pretty
fun thing. But
pretty
yeah,
good.
other than that, man, it was a pretty good tournament. I would say.
I
mean, it's the premier tournament of all fighting games. It's like the Olympics of fighting games. So it was really
I was this close to, because I was, I was actually, I know you and Luis maybe know, but I don't catch up to Twitter until like Saturday or something. So it's like a week goes by and I'm catching up to all these tweets.
What's up with that? I get like 50 tweets from this one guy, a deuce to clean.
It was like on a Saturday morning, this guy's just catching up to all the tweets this past week. So, but I was actually live. I was actually catching up, and I was this close to actually watching a match. I didn't do it, but I was this
Actually
close.
watching a match.
But I was this close. You had me this close to tuning in, Dale. All right, Dalen, what do you think, man? Anything kind of stood out to you for Evo this past year, or this past weekend?
The thing that actually stood out to me, even before Evo actually started, was the fact that one of the games in the lineup was Melty Blood Type Lumina. That game is actually super old, and they just keep re-upping the graphics for it. And I tell my friends, they're like, this is an excellent game. They're like, nah, it looks choppy as hell. But then they saw it on eBay, they're like, what is this smooth game that they're fighting it? I was like, dude, that's Melty Blood. I've been telling you about you for years.
What is it on, Dalan? What platform? What are we thinking?
Oh, before it was just a cabinet game. Like that's where it was launched. It was a cabinet game, and then eventually they launched it on like PS2 or something like that, and then they re-upped it for PS3. And people like, I don't know why, but in America, I guess people just weren't buying it, and in Japan it was just huge.
I'll give you a clue, Dale. What's the name again?
Melty Blood.
I mean, that just sounds not right, man. Like,
hey,
I understand.
Say what you want, but say what you want. But Bloody Roar was huge, so I slapped that down.
I mean, this is the first time. This is the first time I've heard Bloody Roar like in like 20 years since I last played UGM. So
I said it was huge.
So it doesn't help. It doesn't help your argument. But you know what? We did get some pretty big news out of it. Well, some decent news actually. Iron Galaxy, they said that they're returning to Killer Instinct. They're gonna do a major update later this year. Deo, I think you were kind of high on this recently. You might have even put it on wax. Can we get some Killer Instinct situation going on, right? So you're happy about that?
KI, yes, I'm extremely happy because KI is like one of the marquee fighting game titles out there, but Microsoft refuses to like help it out for some crazy reason.
Yeah,
because it kept flopping, my guy. Did you see Killer Instinct Gold? That game was trash, boy.
Okay. No, I mean that's before the Microsoft whole thing came around.
No, okay.
But when KI 2016 launched. 2014 launched with Xbox One. That was like one of the best titles on that system.
Yes.
And I've watched Evo matches and combo breaker matches with that game, and people are absolutely nuts because the mind game is really good in that game. So, but it's kind of been ignored for the past like 4 or 5 years, and the community's still trying to keep it like relevant. Yeah. And I think it's for the 10th anniversary that Iron Galaxy has been tapped back to like update the current game. So
now it was made by Rare, or no? This last Xbox version wasn't made by Rare, or the original was, right? Or no?
The original one was
right.
Okay.
But when Microsoft bought the license for Killer Instinct, they gave it off to I forgot the other. There's an original developer before Iron Galaxy stepped in because they got bought out by Amazon Games. And so Iron Galaxy took over the reins and like started, doing all this fun stuff with it.
They revamped it and actually made it a little more fun.
Yeah. But like, I love that game so much. But like, no, yeah, you're right. No, not all the people support it mainly because it was on the Xbox One. And the Xbox One was not the greatest system.
Dude, that little 10-second clip or 15-second clip of Sony going like, this is how you borrow games with the friend, and then they just give the disc over. Fucking murdered Xbox One, dude. It destroyed their whole business for the next 4 or 5 years, dude.
Genius move.
This man going, this is how you share the game, and he bumps up the disc.
Them with that.
Man, that shit was a low-ass quality video too, man. They literally thought about that shit as soon as they saw like the Xbox presentation. They're like, I know what we'll do. Yep. But I'm happy for you, Dale. I'm happy for you. I'm sure this will be like a Game Pass type of thing. Maybe we can kind of dip into it a little bit. The other thing, I know you're kind of hyped about this. I would assume, Dalan. Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves is announced. What are you thinking, Dalan? Are you ready for it?
I'm thinking that King of Fighters 15 was already huge enough when the SNK decided to actually come back with it. But King of Fighters, it's very rare. Fatal Fury, it's actually very rare to get an actual game of Fatal Fury. It is just Fatal Fury by itself. You don't got freaking weird characters from like
no collabs or anything. Just the pure Fatal
Fury. Terry Bogard, Andy Bogard, freaking Joe Agashi out there whipping some ass, and I'm down to play it.
They showed a little. Did you check out the teaser? They showed a teaser, right? Or they showed a
yes, I did check out.
How you feeling?
It looks so good. Oh my god!
It's like the people who did King of Fighters 15 said, you know what, we're doing just fine. Let's make a Fatal Fury, and they made it look excellent. Go ahead.
Damn, did you have a statement? Go ahead, sir.
I know I said no on the rundown, but like it looked like if you've ever played Fatal Fury Mark of the Wolves, which is one of the best fighting game systems ever made.
You mean the game?
Like the game.
It's the system, Dalan. Leave him alone. Dale, don't ignore that,
the
man.
whole Fatal Fury system.
The whole Fatal Fury system is really good. And like a lot of people, like a lot of Capcom folks or Street Fighter folks snub on Fatal Fury and King of Fighters in general, but you gotta play Mark of the Wolves at least once.
No, you know why people snub on it? People snub on it because they said the buttons are too hard to figure out. Like, what? Just practice. Just practice.
Just play more. Just play more.
Learn how to short hop. Learn how to short hop and do all these funny moves.
We did get a couple Street Fighter 6 stuff. I know one of the things that if you guys have seen the movie, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mayhem. What is it called? Mayhem. Monster Mayhem. It's an excellent movie, by the way. We are definitely in the post Spider-Man Across the Universe or whatever it's called. These movies are looking incredible, and the soundtrack is super nice. So Street Fighter 6 stuff. They're doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab that drops today. I thought they were going to maybe some characters, but no. It's just gear, emotes, stamps, cosmetic options for your custom avatar, mostly in World Tour Mode. That thing you're playing while you should be working, Dalan. That thing you're playing while you should be working.
I have not touched World Tour Mode in a couple of months.
So that's in World Tour Mode. They also announced Azucena, which to me, the only thing I brought this up for is that my child's name is Lily, and when she was a child, we would be like, what's the Spanish version of Lily? Azucena. So I told her, here's your character. Here is your character right here. And in Street Fighter, Raven reveal, Aki is coming for Street Fighter 6 in fall 2023 as well.
I like the fact that you don't know who any of these people are, Carlos.
I don't. I don't. I don't know. I know the Turtles. What more do you want from me, Dale? Dale.
You guys might know, though.
They know? They're surprised that they know, or they don't know?
No, he's hoping that one of you two know. He's like,
well, yes, we know who these characters are.
So, Dale, what are your thoughts, man, on the Turtle stuff, on the new characters? What do you think?
The TMNT thing, real quick. I love it because it's super synergistic with the movie and the hype of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't think ever faded from like children's memories, no matter how old you got. So it's great. Not only that, but you have Turtles now in Street Fighter for the first time. And they've also been in Mortal Kombat or Injustice in the past. I think it was Injustice 2. Ooh, okay. So you got a NetherRealm Studios collab, and now you got a Capcom collab, which is perfect. Like, put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in all the fighting games. I don't care.
What about the new characters, the Street Fighter ones?
Azucena, like, that's the best looking, like, 3D fighting character I've seen in a very long time. Like, her concept, like, being she's Peruvian, she, like, celebrates coffee, she's the coffee queen.
I thought that was interesting.
Her stage with all the llamas, like, that's in Machu Picchu, looks really dope. Like, she's the most, like, fully fledged one I've heard, or I've seen in a long time, which is saying something. That's even including Street Fighter 6, so...
There you go. So we're getting those. Dalen, did you have a comment, sir? I heard a couple grunts there.
No, there's nothing bad about it. I was just thinking to myself, Raven still looks like Blade to me. He just looks like Blade. Every time I look at him, he looks like Blade.
Hey, so this next thing I didn't, we haven't recorded in a while. I teased it on Twitter. It's not really that big of a story, but I just wanted to throw it in there. And I try to make it relevant.
You're correct to do it.
I made it as relevant as I could. Ed Boone was over at EVO. He threw out a tweet saying, quote, "Finally got to play Tekken 8 at EVO. Loved it. Thanks for the hookup, Unruly, at Unruly. When I asked Harada Tekken, who's the game director, Katsuhiro Kurata, to be a cameo in Mortal Kombat 1, he said something like, 'Don't ask me for shit.' This is us. This is us trying to decide who would be cameo fighter first." So he kind of tweeted out a picture as well, but he did say hashtag some lies in this tweet. I did want to mention real quick. I did meet this man going down like on a gas lamp district in San Diego, downtown San Diego by Comic-Con. Is it Gaslight or Gas Lamp or Gas lamp. Yeah, we were just walking down the road and I see this man. I was like, "What? Ed Boone?" Ed Boone. My wife was with me, so she was like, "What? What? Are you tripping? Who is this man?" And I actually kind of pulled him over. Right, I kind of pulled him over. I was like, Ed. He's like, "Hey, he kind of took off his AirPods or whatever, and he was like, 'Can I get a picture, man?" We were in the middle of the street. Those people honking.
Why are you bothering these people? They're just trying to live their lives.
But look, he was very gracious. Like I said in the tweet, he was very gracious. He was nice, super nice guy. I wish I would have. It seemed like he was busy. It seemed like he was going somewhere. I just interrupted him.
He was enjoying his life until you came along.
I guess so. He probably was, and I almost got him run over. So Ed, I'm sorry. You almost got run over, but thanks for the pick. Anyways, he's hyped about Tekken. Like I said, try to keep it relevant around here, and I did throw it out on Twitter, so that's the story. But Dalan, what do you make of this, man? I did give you more context before this. Maybe you thought he was serious about don't ask me for shit, but what do you think now that I give you the full quote, I guess, or?
No, I already knew that by itself because I saw it on the news. But the one thing I could actually still think of is even asking him, nonetheless, to be in Tekken. Tekken, to be in Mortal Kombat. Obviously, Mortal Kombat draws from everything. They got Predator, they're Terminator, all kinds of crap. But you don't necessarily have to have his characters in anything else. If he doesn't want them there, he don't want them there. But they did try and do one other collab that didn't go as great as everybody thought because it was in development hell. I don't know if you recall Street Fighter X Tekken and Tekken X Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. One got made, bombed, and the other one did not.
Yeah. So he might be a little not down with any more cameos.
He's got to be careful. Characters. Tekken is doing just fine, and you got to be careful with trying to promote your characters in other games because sometimes it can make it worse for you.
All right, Dale, what do you think, man?
I think it is pretty hilarious because like the cool thing about the FGC is that like the fans and the creators themselves are like super. Like you could find them on the streets, like you said, like Ed Boone. You could literally run into these people like in the convention centers and just like hang out with them. So like Unruly is like one of those guys that hang out with Maximilian dude. And like the fact that he said "Don't ask me for shit" is like hilarious because that's Harada's like quote. Because every time Tekken 7 was in development, everyone's like, "Yeah, you got to put Terminator, you got to put blah 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 in fucking Tekken," and then they end up putting what's his name from Walking Dead in Tekken. But his
fucking Negan.
Negan. They put Negan in Tekken, right? But like his defense for everything was just like, "Don't ask me for shit."
Okay,
period.
so it's like
he speaks limited English, but when he says it, that's like, oh, he's serious. It's pretty serious.
All right, you know what? Which is probably I did meet Yu Suzuki one time. I ran into him at E3, and I was like Shenmue 3, and it was before anything was announced, before Kickstarter. That's what he wanted to tell me. Like, don't ask me for shit, because he looked a little didn't want to take a picture, didn't want to talk to me. He didn't. Maybe sometimes I think. If they don't speak English, sometimes people are hesitant to have conversations and stuff. He doesn't speak English, right? But I was like Shenmue 3, and he's like, gave me that kind of similar look. Don't ask me for shit is kind of what he was saying. Dalan, any other thoughts before we kind of get on to the next thing?
Hey man, don't ask me for shit. Move on.
Okay. Hey, I do like. Thanks for the background. I didn't know that was a background. My bad, Ed. I did throw this in because it's been kind of a big thing in the last week, and I put it on the rundown as who cares about Baldur's Gate 3? Everyone said no. Everyone on the panel said no. So none of us here care that this game has apparently 800,000 concurrent players on Steam. I know Legacy Killer even said this game has no microtransactions. It has a massive story. Man, the other detail, it won't be coming to Xbox before 2024. Why? Because of Dalan's speaker, Xbox Series S. It can't run couch co-op, Dalan. It can't run it. But at some point, we'll get it. I don't know if you guys have comments now, but we obviously don't care.
I do.
Okay, all of a sudden. Okay.
No, it's a very simple comment. Okay. Baldur's Gate, which you did not know was a part of the D&D world.
I knew at some point. I must have read it in EGM or something.
D&D, that's why it's so popular.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It has its own fan base. So I'm like, I don't need to play the game. It's super RPG. Like that open world RPG type thing that you like. So Carlos, if you ever play it, you might actually like it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, it's not on console yet, right? It's not on console yet, or
no?
I need it on console.
I know it's on PC.
PlayStation 5 comes out in like a month or something.
Yeah, it comes out soon. Luis, you had
this scratches Dalan's itch of his classic. In this case, it's a free-to-play game, right? Drop $70 and then it's free to play. There's no in-game DLC.
Ongoing free to play from then
on. By the way,
come on, Dalan. What more do you want, man? There you go. I know I keep bugging Dalan all the time because I think I don't want to dox or anything, but I think your wife kind of gets into D&D, right? You guys run a weekly game, Dalan, and I'm always like, ask Nicole why is she not playing Baldur's Gate 3 every single time we get on the chat. I would think you guys are into it.
Her immediate response is "fuck you, Carlos."
Oh, right, damn. Okay, reasonable. By the way, we get along enough for her to say that, just so it's not on wax. It's like, what's going on? What is this relationship that's going on with Dalan's wife and Carlos? Hey, the next thing on here, Destiny 2 is headed to creative territories Bungie has quote-unquote never explored before. That's in Eurogamer, and they won't drip feed the climactic conclusion, end quote, says Kotaku. This rundown came in hot. I didn't see any other quotes, so I hope you can help me, Luis. What's your comments on this?
No, my only guess here is that they'll say more when in the Destiny showcase in a couple weeks. So and kind of maybe this is what the Cade 6 sort of situation is. Who knows? I'm not sure.
They're dropping it all on you at once. That's what
yeah, it seems like. Which who knows? It could be cool. It could not be cool. Yeah. Because the nature of Destiny has and always has been. Grind up until a certain point, and then you kind of just wait and grind up until a certain point and just wait.
You're never gonna get a raid done.
So yeah, who knows? Because it sounds like it's not going to be live service. So who knows how it goes?
So it might be part of like those campaign missions, because every expansion you get a few campaign missions, and then it is kind of drip fed a little bit, right, over the weeks, and that's kind of been through the season. That's kind of what they've been doing the last like couple years now, right? Because at the beginning you were getting a full on story, right? I don't know how long, Dalan, maybe what 10-15 hours, right, before the end game. Then you get to the end game,
but that's still a lot of for a full ass game with beautiful graphics like that.
No, but what I'm saying is with the expansions now, you get 2 hours, 3 hours of like a kind of like campaign levels, and then you just kind of grind it out through the seasons. So we'll see what happens with that. But pretty hyped. And like me and Dalan were talking on our game chat the other day. I was like, man, fuck this dungeon that we can't beat. Let's just. When's the next expansion, man? Just give us the next thing. All right, give me the next.
We've abandoned that dungeon.
$100 that I need to spend. All right, I need to spend another $100. All right, I hope they better make these dungeons easier to beat. One thing I wanted to mention real quick is that the PlayStation 5, there's a back to school sale going on through Target and GameStop and all this stuff, where the PS5 is $450. But it's kind of funny to me. It's like, back to school, these kids need to focus, man. I got my child that's going back to school. What the fuck? We're not buying a PlayStation. We're buying school clothes,
games, man. Educational games.
Yeah, she's running out of games to play too.
She really is running out of games to play. I saw, you get the little notification when you download something. This is ready to play, and it says Jurassic Park World 2 Evolution is ready to play. And I texted my child, like, good job, child. You bored? And she's like, I'm bored right now. I have nothing else to play. So, but anyways, I don't know if this is like a precursor. It feels like it could potentially be a precursor to a Slim or some kind of a Pro announcement. Or it could just be back to school. They want to keep distracting the children. The other thing, though, that this was kind of a big deal in the last couple weeks. But if you guys hadn't noticed, there was a Switch Last of Us clone on the Switch eShop, and it was on the European shop. And I actually kind of was looking to get it with my European account, but I forgot my password, and I just forgot, and I didn't grab it. I kind of regret it now because it's off the eShop. It was called The Last Hope Dead Zone Survival, and it disappeared after there was a Sony copyright claim, and that thing is gone, dude. It's gone. I wish I had remembered my password. I didn't, so I don't have it. Dalan, do you wish you had the Switch Last of Us clone, which looked terrible, by the way? But
nah, it just felt like one of those cheap phone game copies, and it just makes me look at the company and say, hey, stop it.
Well, Sony told them to stop it. I mean, they put in a copyright, and they did. Luis, what do you make of this? I don't think we talked about it, right? We've been off the few weeks that it's been. What do you make of it? What do you think of getting shut down?
Well, I'm pretty sure this being Nintendo, they probably hit them with that. What was that game? Advance Wars or something?
Damn.
That one person that had the copy.
You asked for a refund. You asked for a refund.
Those people with the refund, dude.
Thank you for refunding this game.
So you probably still wouldn't have had it if you remembered your password. They would have taken that shit away.
Damn.
But yeah, this was. I mean, as far as like the concept of the game, it was this post-apocalyptic sort of you're dealing with zombie situation. But the where the copy clone thing came from was really they straight up ripped out Ellie's teenage model, the same shirt, everything. Like she was just in the game.
That was wacky.
So I'm surprised that passed through Nintendo's like verification process of like putting a game on the eShop.
I know how it passed, Lise. What verification process? That's how it passed, dude. They're like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
Damn.
Will this make us money? Yes. Throw it on there.
It's so ridiculous, man. I think we would have heard people getting returns like that. Sweet child that bought Advance for, and like, I didn't ask for a refund, and Nintendo like, here's your refund. Fucking assholes, man. That's all I'm gonna say. What assholes, man? Nintendo. They give us great joy, but at the same time they like rip our hearts out of our chest, you know, at the same time. Like, here's your refund. Enjoy. Get out of here.
It sounds like you have a very love-hate relationship with Nintendo.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is, dude. Ever since they sold me a puke green portable, it's been rough. It's been rough. Going back to then, the other thing that kind of related to this, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson are going to portray their Last of Us characters, Joel and Ellie, again for Universal Halloween Horror Nights. I think we're maybe trying to figure out a day that maybe we could go together, Luis, but I know you have a group that you go with. But it's kind of cool that they're recording voices for this thing, which is, I think, for a lot of times, I don't know about the voice industry or anything like that, but I'm assuming they just pull directly from a game or from whatever. But it's kind of cool that we're gonna hear original voices from Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson portraying the characters.
The answer to that is no, Carlos. They actually have them record specific lines.
Ooh, all the time. So this is not too surprising.
I don't know, man. I worked on something where we were like, let's just rip some lines out of the movie. This was a project I worked on for Sony on Passengers, and they're like, nah, we don't have a budget for VO for this guy, so just
shit.
Hey,
if you got the budget to have the actual people there, you better have the budget to have them make their own fucking lines.
And I'm sure that's going the other way too, right? Like, you're working from film or TV or whatever, you know, Passengers was going to a game. I think this going the other way, where it's game voice actors, that they might be more than happy to. You know, I mean, you know, I don't want to make it.
The work. They always need the work.
Yeah. So, but I still think it's cool that we're gonna be running through it. I'm gonna be like, okay, that's a new voice there. The next thing we have, I have not a lot of details, so I hope you can help me here, Luis. I'm gonna give it to you because we know Dalan doesn't use the internet.
I saw this one.
Okay, he uses the internet, but is not on the internet. But the Twitch streamer Kai Cenat, he was promoting a huge giveaway in New York City, and then New York City spirals out of control. He was in police custody shortly after, according to Kotaku. So this kind of interesting. I just remember seeing like a multitude of people on TV and in the news. So Luis, could you give us maybe a few details on this? What was going on here, man? If you got it.
So it's pronounced Kai Cenat. But okay. His, I guess, some references. He is at this moment, I believe, still the most subscribed to and watched streamer on Twitch. Like he is at the top of the food chain right now. So he basically on a stream kind of just randomly, he didn't tweet this, he didn't put this on socials, it was just a stream. Whoever was on the stream were the people that heard of this. But he kind of went into, kind of told her, hey, I'm going to be at this place in New York, whoever wants to roll through, we're doing giveaways, consoles, PCs, like roll through. And even in the stream, he's like, yeah, I'm expecting, you know, like maybe like 200 people I think will show up or something. It ended up being a couple of thousand people rolled through and chaos ensued.
Go ahead, sorry.
Let him finish his story, Dan. We're gonna get to you, Dan. Don't step on his lines. Go ahead, man. Whenever you're ready, Luis. All right, we'll give it to Dalan whenever you're ready.
There's even like clips of during this whole situation breaking down. He's like, "Hey guys, like everybody settle down. I want to give things away, but I can't do it unless everyone calms down." And it did not happen. There's people riding on top of police cruisers, people breaking things, and you know, eventually the cops get involved. They're bashing people's heads in behind like the cars and breaking glass and shit. So it got rough. And then he got arrested and he got taken into custody. So Kai Cenat.
But do you think he did it? How about this? It's kind of, look, I don't want to get too political, but it's kind of like the Trump stuff is like, did he know he was wrong? Do you think that Kai was like, oh yeah, it's gonna incite some riots right now, or
I think he was genuinely trying to do something just fun.
Okay.
At the same time, this is also the same dude that in streams is lighting up fireworks inside of his bedroom. So, you know, reviews. So who knows how much he believed when he said it, you know, like 200, 300 people are gonna roll through. Because he does kind of revel in chaos in his streams, but. Yeah, so, I do think it came from a good place. I don't think he expected it to get that out of hand.
But it could potentially be used, I don't know, by police or whatever when they investigate. Like, dude, you've done this kind of crazy shit before. Like, how did you not expect it to? But I'll take that though. I'll take that he was, you know, hey, I'm trying to give some things away, not fucking blow up the city. Dalan, what do you think, man? What did you follow it a little bit, or what was going on?
I straight up followed it when it actually happened. I saw it; it popped up on my YouTube feed all over the place because it was all over the news. But from the way that it rolled out, I don't think he. I think he was ignorant to the fact that anything above 50 people required them to actually. To coordinate with NYPD, and he did not do that at all.
Okay, so that's kind of maybe where the arrest maybe happened or whatever.
Yeah, that was part of it. The other part was he was charged with inciting a riot because he showed up hours late to his own giveaway, and people were just standing around in this park like, okay, where is he at? And then they got reckless. Then people thought it was fun to start smashing stuff. It got way too out of hand. They broke into a nearby construction site and started taking all the stuff from the construction site and breaking more things.
As Deo would know, delineators might have been involved. Delineators, right? Might have been involved.
Shit, dude, I can't stop that.
So it took them hours to be able to shut it down when Kai actually did show up and tried to get it under control, but it was too late by that point. So he got arrested and he was charged, and I don't know what the fine was for it or whatnot, but I know he got out of custody.
Okay, all right. Well, look, Kai, hey man, if it was, look, I'll try to give you the benefit. I don't know this man, right? But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If it was from a good place in your heart, man, I hope everything works out. Otherwise, you know what you did, man. If you did it on purpose, why? Why, Kai? Why?
I just think it was straight ignorance.
Maybe potentially. Hey, but that's when the streaming world comes into reality, right? Like it's all fun and games online and keyboard warriors, but these things can kind of spread, right? It's intertwined at this point. The next thing
me before in New York, you know it now.
There you go. I just want to mention real quick, Hideki Kamiya of Platinum Games, he did mention out there that he's very proud of the JRPG term, also J-Action, and I was thinking about, I was like, why would he be offended? But I know some people are saying like, oh, we don't like that term, maybe JRPG versus Western RPGs, but I thought about it real quick, and I was like, if there was like an MRPG, like a Mexican RPG or something, I'd be proud too. So
there's an RPG, so don't try too hard.
There's a what, Dalan? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit first. Damn, Dalan. Is he cutting out for you guys as well? Or everyone is?
Damn, Carlos is dying.
Do you guys hear me? Okay, everyone's back. Everyone's back.
That's all I got. Do you guys hear me?
Now, the good thing is, my video is the one that goes up. You guys froze. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good as far as the YouTube is concerned. But we'll move on. Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best-selling game in the franchise. It has sold 12.6 million copies. Dalan, what do you make of this, man? We're on the quickfire round, Dalan. So let's kind of get through these so we can get to some what you've been playing.
I think I actually mentioned this before, but it's obviously well-deserved. I mean, Resident Evil 4 released in its remake, and that one skyrocketed really fast. But Resident Evil 2, that's just a classic. That's the one everybody remembers. We need Claire and Leon and shooting zombies in the police station. Without the police station, you ain't got Resident Evil. Where's that at?
It's a beautiful game, man. Resident Evil 2 Remake, it's incredible. And they've done great with 3 and 4 too. They've done great, man. Capcom, they need to go back to 0 and 1, right? And kind of get rid of the tank controls forever, man. This one's for Luis. This next one, Ratatan, the Patapon spiritual successor, is fully funded for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch via Kickstarter. The original goal was to get it funded for PC. That got blown away within an hour, less than an hour. And then, one of their stretch goals was, let's get it to PS5. Xbox, where Carlos will actually attempt to play it potentially. Luis, what do you make of this, man? You a fan of Patapon?
Yeah, I loved them on the PSP, and I actually, not that long ago, maybe like a year or so ago, I played Patapon 2 on my PSP Go. I played it on my PSP Go.
The
you
slide it open.
Yep. With the back little gel cushions on the back, they're all completely grayed out now at this point. It's super nasty. It was fun at the time, and even when I played it again, I was like, oh, this is really fun. And then I couldn't have played it for more than half an hour to an hour, and I was like, I've seen enough, but I remember this game. So I'm hoping this might be a little different now that it, kind of refreshed spiritual successor, but I feel like maybe this one should have been aimed more for like mobile devices or something like that to be sort of a casual pickup type of situation, but we'll see. This will be a game that I probably will pick up on the Switch. I don't typically lean towards Switch, but if I pick it up, it'll probably be Switch.
There you go. That's a good option for you. I never really got into the Patapon games, but you know what? Maybe I'll tinker with it. We'll see. The next one, this one's for Dalan. Respawn is bringing Star Wars Jedi Survivor to old gen. This is after the game director, by the way, said they're skipping old gen because we want to offer up a quote-unquote true new gen experience. Well, that didn't last too long because the game came out, in April? And now they're like, here we are. We're going to go back to the old generation. What do you make of this, Dalan? What do you make of this wackiness?
I think they don't need to do it. They should not do it. Very much so. Because if you recall, the PS4 sounded like a jet engine taking off at some point. Then there's also the fact that just imagine trying to put Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on the PS4. That does not have SSD qualities.
We'll talk about it. Don't spoil it, then. We'll talk. We'll give it a shot here.
And I'm just gonna watch that thing. I want to watch that system just fall apart. It's gonna fall apart.
There you go. This next one, was kind of came and went, interestingly enough. But Hasbro, for some reason, wanted to talk about how they lost the game code to the Transformers games, and I think we talked about it on Wax a couple times before that. Those 3D Transformer games were kind of nice. They weren't too bad. But at first, Hasbro came out and said, "quote Sadly, apparently Activision is not sure what hard drives they're on in their building," said the spokesperson. "When a company eats a company that eats a company, things get lost, and that's very frustrating. Hope is that now that the deal is moving forward with Microsoft and Xbox, that they'll go through all of the archives and every hard drive to find it all, because it's an easy Game Pass ad. We want those games back up for people to have a chance to play." Of course, Axio, Steven Totillo over there, got his journalism hat on, and he got them to clarify. They said, to clarify, comments that suggest Transformers games have been lost were made in error. We apologize to Activision and regret any confusion. There have been great partners, and we look forward to future opportunities to work together. I don't know if you guys have seen that little meme online on Twitter or whatever. It's like grand opening, grand closing kind of thing, where it's like, we lost them. We don't know where the fuck they are. You know what? Our bad. We'll find it. Don't worry about it. It's there.
We'll find it.
Dale, what do you make of this, man? What do you make of this foolishness?
What actually happened is that the day that the Activision Xbox deal closed, Jim Ryan put on his hamburger costume, went over to High Moon Studios, and he took the source code hard drives and he flew with them to Brussels or whatever, and he sat on them. Because he was so mad. That's what happened.
Yeah, they're
gonna put this on Game Pass. They can't buy Activision.
You can't do it now.
They don't have the source code. Like, they can't do it. They can't do it.
It's now up his butt somewhere.
They're like, I have it right here. It's like right here. They don't know where it is. Man,
no.
Dude, this was like in the it was just a span like within like 6, 7, 8 hours or something like that. They're like, we don't know where it is. And then Steven Totillo was like, wait, hold on, what? Wait, what? I was like, no, we'll take it back. It's somewhere.
Yeah, no. Steven Totillo is the greatest journalist, gaming journalist of all of them, and he went and found them himself. That's the best part.
He got to the bottom of that shit quick.
He did.
The next thing, this is what Dalan was alluding to, but Kotaku is saying, don't play Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PC without an SSD. They also said one-to-one comparisons show an SSD is pretty essential, which is also kind of a back and forth. I know you put a no on this, Dale, but this is one of those things where I still remember you put out a tweet. It's like, bullshit, it's not going to run. It's not going to, something like that along those lines, but it's not going to run. But apparently they were right. They said it wasn't a requirement on PC or Steam, but now the reports are out. And it's like, yeah, get an SSD, But what do you make? How do you reconcile this, Dale, real quick, before we get to Dalan's thoughts? How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, my position was that people were so hyped on the PlayStation 5's SSD that they thought it was like God's gift to women, and that it was like gold or something like that. Okay. So, and then they were like, oh yeah, this would never be able to run in any other system. I was like, BS. We've had SSDs on computers for like how long that would be able to do it. And it can do it. It might not do it as smoothly, but I could pay my taxes on my computer. You can't do it on a PlayStation, so I don't know.
Okay.
What?
All right.
That was
Okay.
good. That was the most
Okay.
awkward comparison
Okay,
I've
Dale,
heard all
look.
day.
Look, I know.
Too. I don't know if you remember that, Carlos. Samir says that all the time.
Oh, he
too.
does. Look, I know you're simply, truly lemonade out. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that for now, as far as that story is concerned. But Dalen, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, without the SSD, you don't have as many of the processes that can actually go through the hard drive itself. Obviously, if you have a good processor, you're good. If you actually do have a good HHD hard drive or a hybrid hard drive, you might be more okay. But without the SSD, it's just not the same. It's like watching the pixels drop while you're trying to move. All right, you're going to be losing frames when you're trying to jump between dimensions. It's a lot of things. Like you said, Carlos, there's a lot of things happening on the screen all at once.
Yeah. and by the way, I don't know the techno mumbo jumbo, all that stuff, right? I don't know it. But playing it on PS5, it was one of our, what do we call it? The most frictionless gaming. And I feel like that's probably part of the SSD drive, right? The fact that it was so quick and so smooth. Yes, but hey, anyways, there's mixed reports out there. There's mixed reports out there as far as the SSD is concerned. Keitaku said, just get an SSD. We'll move on to what
everybody says it. I say it. Just get an SSD.
Right, thank you. Oh, I'll put it on wax then. Thank you for installing that SSD drive on my PlayStation 5 so I can keep all the Warzones that takes up 700 gigs and GTAs and all that stuff, right? So because I put it on wax and made it public, I don't owe you gas money anymore, right, Dalen? Luis, what have you been playing, Luis? What have you been playing this last week?
Sidestep that issue.
It was solved. That issue was solved.
Were you waiting for this pod to say that?
I actually just thought about it right now, but yeah, Luis, go ahead. What have you been playing?
I mentioned a while ago I was doing a replay of The Last of Us Part 2 and with my sister, and we finished that a while ago, and we kind of were always like, after that one's done, we'll move on to the Quarry, and we just kind of never got around to it. But over the weekend, we started it up and finished it in like a day and a half. So we did our first playthrough. She unfortunately lost someone to a pretty stupid QTE, but we kept it going. We kept it moving. One interesting thing to know with the couch co-op, Dalen might have mentioned this. You played this with Nicole couch co-op, right?
You're talking about for
the Quarry.
Yes.
Because
we started playing it couch co-op.
I was expecting it to be the same as online, where online it was like one person plays and then everyone votes. So I got my controller out, I was ready to go. But apparently, you just pick what characters each player plays and you hand off the controller. So the voting system isn't there, which I thought would have been pretty interesting if we had it. But yeah, none of my characters died. Mine made it through the night.
Did she have the character that got shot in the face?
No spoilers?
Yeah, we kept that character.
Okay.
There was one that I won't spoil who it was, but one character that got shot, and we're like, fuck, we lost another one, but then they made it back. So they came back immediately after. So it's like, okay, what the fuck?
M. Night Shyamalan twist.
But like, as soon as we finished the game, she said, do you want to do one where we just kill everybody? And I was like, I was hoping you said that.
Yes. Which is harder than you think, man. Which is harder than you think, because you got to do things in specific orders. They got to move around in certain ways to get people killed. Did you guys do it? Did you guys?
No, we got to the point in the game where we're just after the campfire scene. So we're not that far into the game yet.
You're talking about the first campfire scene.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to clarify that. I was like, wait.
And then after that, I think we'll work on and keep everyone alive, because we were real close. But yeah.
Are you guys following a guide? I know when you were like, I'm gonna try to get as many trophies, or I don't know, whatever your goal was. You're like, I'm not gonna follow a guide. I'm like, fuck, it's hard, dude, because you miss 1 second of a thing. And you're done. You're done for hours.
Yeah, so, okay. There was one that I was aware of that's like at the very beginning of the game where she decided to not do something, my sister, and I was like, and then I kind of told her after we reached that point way later in the game, I was like, so remember that thing at the very beginning you didn't do? If you had done that, we would have been able to do this. She's like, what the fuck? So
Damn.
Okay, she's
That
enjoying
game
it
has
though.
a lot of choices that branch. That whole butterfly effect.
She's enjoying the experience of the Quarry.
Yeah, though I think now knowing this, because we had once you beat the game once, they have the death rewind thing. They'll you rewind deaths 3 times in the game. But apparently it's disabled in couch co-op. So we're like, we should just play it in single player mode so that we can do the death
To have
rewind
more
as well.
options,
Yeah,
man.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude, the Quarry. Look, there was a reason why it's a runner-up. God of War Ragnarok was just too good. But the Quarry was definitely a runner-up. Dale, we will never forgive you for not playing God of War Ragnarok, man. What's going on over here, man? But it's fine. It was great. It was great.
Still up there somewhere.
Okay, there it is.
Ooh,
there it is. Still in box. Deo, have you been playing anything? Or you were camping, right? Or any games that you could kind of remember since the last time we recorded and we filmed?
No, I haven't really been playing it. I was trying to finish Persona 5 Royal before I left, but unfortunately I would have been playing it on my Steam Deck, but I can't because there's no internet anywhere.
Okay. There you go.
And I brought a handheld with me, but I was like too busy like chopping wood and like drawing water. That I didn't
He was too busy being a rugged outdoorsman.
Yeah.
which is probably better, man. It's probably better. It's fine. You're enjoying nature, right?
It was.
You know,
It was a good break, but now I'm ready to get some gaming on. I don't know.
Hey, now you can watch the show Alone.
What's that? I don't even know what that is.
It's a show. The show Alone is about a group of people that are like survivalists that they drop into some part of the woods and they have to survive the longest with no help. They have the crew members that actually come and check on their health every so often, and they will pull them if they feel like their health is degrading too much. But if they are the last survivor, they get $1 million.
Also, Yellow Jackets. Check out Yellow Jackets as well. Very kind of campy thing. We're giving you shit that it's good you didn't watch it beforehand. Because then you would be like not wanting to camp. So just watch it now.
No, I love camping. No, I'm kind of interested in that now. The survivability.
There you go. Look, Luis, we're not gonna let you go quite yet. But me, yourself, and Dalan did play the Ascent. We very quickly kind of gave up on it though after bugs and
bad? Really?
It's terrible, man. But look,
we almost gave up on it the first 5 minutes. Luis's game wouldn't freaking load properly.
That was the second time we were playing it, though.
Why? Could it was leaving Game Pass? I think it already left, or my Game Pass ran out, or something. But my Game Pass was running out. I was like, "Hey, let's play this game. Let's try it again." And these guys were good enough to be like, "Fuck it, here's a co-op game to try out." It's good when it works. We did even have my brother join us as our fourth, and he leveled up like 10, 11 levels just by like being down all the time. He was just down. He was just crawling around, being down and leveling.
Keep picking them up.
He kept leveling. He leveled up to like 11 in like 20 minutes or whatever. Being down, not being helpful at all. Not being helpful at all. He was just down the whole time.
We restarted the game like 8 times in 10 minutes just trying to do that. And Luis is like, "Nah, I'm done. I'm done for the night. We can do this another."
After the 8th, 9th restart, I was like, I'm done with this, man. I don't want to. My hunch is that I hope this is the case because it's been a long time since this game initially launched. My hope for them is that our game save was just bugged, like from playing it previously in the bugged out version. That maybe if we had restarted, it would have been better. But I mean, whatever.
Well, we're done, man. I'm done. I don't know about you guys. Dalan, are you done? Are you done with the Ascent? I think I'm done.
If you decide to play, I will hop on. But I do very, very much so want to say I hate that fucking game. I'll play it because it's co-op.
You can say it, Dalan. Just say it. Just say it.
It's on PS Plus now. It's on PS Plus.
Yeah, but I'd have to drop money for that. It's free on the Xbox Game Pass still.
I'm definitely gonna grab a PS Plus Next Edition Plus Supreme when Sea of Stars comes out. What are we calling it? Sea of Oceans? Oh, Oceans of Stars. Oceans of Stars.
It's not on Game Pass anymore though, Dalan. It's gone.
It's gone.
Oh, okay.
But there's crossplay and blah 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 and
fuck that broken ass game. Falling through elevators, not being able to teleport properly, characters not spawning. That's
Dalan, but Clune.
Oh, boss spawning straight up.
Dalan, but the store Clune. What about Clune? What about that store? Clune?
Hey, they had some interesting shit in the game, but again, it works great when the game works. But when it doesn't work, the game is broken as shit.
Look, it looks cool. It looks cool. plays well enough, but it's not doing what we want to do, and that is to have fun together. You know, the boys. It's just not doing it.
It's the opposite of frictionless.
It's very, dude. Like the other extreme of frictionless. The other extreme. friction, I guess, would be the other extreme. Luis, before me and Dalan get to what else we've been playing, anything else on the Ascent, or that's the thought process.
No.
Don't buy this game.
Never again. Dalan, we've also been playing. Actually, no. Luis played some Warzone with us. I don't know. I don't know where do you want to head into the Warzone talk, Dalan? I mean, we play Warzone. We got chicken dinner. It's nice.
I touched base on it earlier. I was the it factor.
Okay. All right. So it's just there. We play Warzone. We got chicken dinner. Thank you for participating, Dalan. Me and you also recently platinum Final Fantasy 16. I platinumed it about a month before you did, but nobody's counting. Nobody's worried. You can look at the trophies online and you can see it right there. But what did you make of 16? I know we promised kind of a review thing for this. I think it's kind of past. But what'd you think of the game, man? Or the platinum or the trophies and stuff like that?
Hey, cutscenes or no cutscenes, that game is long. That's a long game.
Yeah, it's only like 30 hours, though. Like 30, 32, 30.
But
30
unlike other Final Fantasy or other RPG games, it's very platinumable. You could definitely platinum this game. It's Devil May Cry Final Fantasy Edition, so you could definitely get down on it and platinum it pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, 7 wasn't too bad. 7 wasn't too bad. 7 Remake, and that one had the benefit of it's actually pretty damn good. This one's good. This one's decent, but you throw on those cheating rings, and you know the difficulty goes way down, Dalan. Even on hard mode, I kept them on. I don't care. Go challenge my platinum, Dalan. Go send them a challenge to PlayStation. I don't care.
I have my other rings on so I can kill shit faster.
So you did have the rings. You admit you had assist on. You admit it.
I had. The only assist I had on was the one for Torgal attacking, because I didn't want to have to deal with that the D-pad at all. I never had to press the D-pad, with the exception of using a potion.
You admit you had steering assist on Rainbow Road.
I was gonna say
this time.
Gonna say.
Fuck your Rainbow Road assist, all right?
Dalan is like the best player at Mario Kart ever, man. The drifting, this man mastered it when they introduced it out. Well, no, it's always had it though, right? I think even
it's
to 64.
Ever since Mario 64.
Okay, so it's had it since 64. Don't play this man at this. But my favorite thing
I want to challenge.
My favorite thing to do.
Calm down. You want to get down?
Damn, you're gonna regret it, Dale. Yeah. But I will say this. Yeah. You know what? If you guys are going to do it, I'll join too. If Deo's on at the same time,
I need a Nintendo subscription, though, for that, right?
Oh, come on. What are we doing
here? Oh, you do need... Hey, get the 7-day pass. When we're ready to do it, just let us know.
So my favorite... All that to say this. My favorite troll to Dalan when we play Mario Kart is we'll go on Rainbow Road. I put on all the assists, Dale, and he's like... Why are you not falling off? Guess what he does? He puts on the assist, Dale, and I'm like, you're a master Mario Kart player. What do you need the assist for? Dale?
You still need it for Rainbow Road.
Nah, he's a master player. This
guy is just flying by because he's got all the assists, and I'm too busy falling off all day long because I can't make the turns at 200 cc per second. So fuck you, couch.
I'm not a master Mario Karter, but you are. So what do you need the assist for?
You're a gamer. Shut up, Carlos.
We did play Exoprimal. We played like a level and a half of that. That's a pretty decently
made the co-op version. We didn't even get
to the co-op. It was like a 30-minute introduction. The graphics are nice. It's stupidly ridiculous, which I like. And some nice cutscenes. But I don't know. Whenever I get Game Pass again or whatever, we might dip back in. And you murdered T-Rexes, man. What more do you want, Dalan? What more did you want?
Actually, we didn't even murder the T-Rex. They cut us out before the T-Rex was dead.
Exoprimal, it's kind of nice. It came out like 2 weeks ago. Everyone forgot about it already. I saw your face, Dale. You're like, Exoprimal? What is Exoprimal?
I completely forgot about that.
It's Earth Defense Force. Dinosaurs.
There you go. Exoprimal. Look, the other thing I've been playing, I did get into Jedi, Star Wars Jedi Survival. I was just talking to Dalan about this the other day, and I was like, oh, this game's kind of hard. It's kind of challenging. And I was like, I don't remember the first one being this challenge. I was like, I think I probably knocked it down. Knock down the difficulty. But now that I'm playing this one, like at the legit difficulty, and I'll play it like that, it's kind of nice, but it takes patience. It requires me to play a game like I usually don't play games. I'm critical pathing. I'm like, just throwing shit, not leveling anything. I gotta level. I gotta get my health up. I gotta get like my moves down. I gotta get my parries down. I'm more than willing to do it. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I've been playing that. Before my Game Pass was over, I played some serious Sam Siberian Mayhem. That has like a 4-player co-op, and I told Dalan and Luis, and they were like, nah, they just dismissed me. You guys made the right choice. That game is not great. It's not a great game.
Damn, after all that.
You just kind of randomly shoot shit and like are constantly strafing. All you're doing is just strafing back and forth through like these big levels, empty big levels, with enemies just chasing you down. Yeah, no, it's better than that, man. Well, no, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. My bad. It's worse than that. Yeah, no, I made it up. I was just a little confused for a second. But you hear there's guys that are constantly chasing you with bombs, like they're like, you know, yelling like, all you hear is like for like the whole level, dude. The whole level, you're hearing these mans chasing you around with dynamite. And I was like, this is, it's not great, but I mean, it was like 4 hours, 5 hours if you guys are interested. But the big one, the big game this past week or so, Pikmin 4, man, that game's a delight. It's a nice little game. RTS light though. RTS for babies. RTS for babies. But
is it better than Final Fantasy 16 though?
I mean, it's equal. 16's good. 16's good. It's Game of Thrones. You know, they kind of overplayed the Game of Thrones, to be honest, by the time you're done with it. But I'm enjoying Pikmin 4. It's definitely taken over kind of my time on the Switch. I will eventually get back to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, but Pikmin 4 it's the objective. I like the objectives. Go grab a bunch of like these random items. One of the first items you get is the Game Boy SP. What's the flip one, Deo? Advanced SP? Advanced SP or something?
Advanced SP.
Yeah, that's the first one you get. The first one when you get enough Pikmin to carry it to your ship. That's kind of the first thing you get. But yeah, Pikmin 4 is the game I'm playing kind of at work when I'm at break and lunch. You know, that's the only times. It's the only times, I promise. Dalan, send it with you, man. What else you been playing besides what we talked about?
Well, thanks to you, I actually picked up the Switch game. I think it's a couple years old now or something like that. I don't remember when it first came out, but Never Stop Sneaking. That game is hilarious. It is straight up Metal Gear Solid 1 Stupid Edition. All right? Okay. So you get the old graphics of Metal Gear Solid, like the PS1 Metal Gear Solid graphics. And the storyline is ridiculous entirely. Like Amadeus is trying to go back in time to kidnap the president, and he wants to be president somehow, and he's like breaking time. So you're going around trying to collect people and build up a base underground. And they say the stupidest lines throughout the whole game, and it cracks me up. But when you're actually playing the game, the reason why I say it's like the stupid version of Metal Gear is because you don't actually press any buttons. All you gotta do is run. Just dodge light. Don't get hit.
I think it was like originally maybe a mobile game, Dalan. Maybe that's part of it, where you're just kind of going through the power-ups, right? And you're shooting through the power-ups, kind of. So I think it might be mobile. If it's not, I think it's on the Switch, but it's also mobile. And I do like the old graphics, and it has the shaky, like, go and play Ape Escape and watch the graphics, how they're like old and shaking. Like a little shaky, like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, but
hey, the title should have given it away, because Dalan's calling it Never Stop Sneaking. It's Never Stop Sneaking.
Mm-hmm. Never Stop
Sneaking. Sorry, it's even stupider than I thought. I'm sorry.
That's what I mean. As soon as you see that title, you're like, okay, this is gonna be some silly bullshit.
It was some silly bullshit. Just the story.
How much was it? I bought it like years ago. I didn't play through it. Maybe I should go and then kind of play through it. How much is it? How long is it? Maybe, Dalander.
It's like $15, and I've been playing it for a while, and I've only got to 30%.
Okay. How long into it are you? How many?
I'm totally adding this to my Steam wish list now.
No, did you say
I literally gave you the percentage.
No, how many hours? Don't be fucking with me, Dalan. I don't got time for you right now.
Hey. No. Each of these stages can take like 30 to 45 minutes. You don't realize it, but it can take 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm like 6 hours into it, and it's only 30%.
Maybe I'll go back. It's a dumb enough game. It's a dumb enough game.
Hey,
one of the first things you
do.
do.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Just move. That's it. Just
Yeah.
move.
One of the first things you get, of course, is a rocket launcher to launch into a helicopter, right? Of course, that's one of the first things you.
If you remember the helicopter on the top of Shadow Moses that you fight at the very beginning, that is the epitome of that. You get 2 bullets on that thing, and it's going down. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dalan, what else, man? What else? We will.
The other game that I actually went back to play, and it's still excellent, especially for itself, is SIFU. And they very much said, you know what? Let's take the idea of Old Boy and make a game out of it. The whole game is Old Boy. They keep throwing you in the hallways with a bunch of enemies. It gets really artistic sometimes, but you're really just beating up guys, and you get you get focus moments. You hold down the button, it slows down time. You get to like smack somebody really hard. The thing I'm gonna give one tip for anybody who decides to play SIFU, because it does not tell you this. There's a part in the training where it says you could hold the L2 button or L1 button, which is block, and press down or up to try and dodge these specific moves. What they don't tell you is you can also dodge left and right. So keep that in mind.
Oh, shoot.
You would think you make the assumption, Dylan. You make the assumption that
No,
left and right.
you don't make that assumption.
What are we doing here?
They have very specific moves that you can do in SIFU, but they do not tell you that you can dodge left and right. As soon as I figured that out, I basically stopped getting hit for a while.
Now, Dalan, I know how hard this game is. I beat it, by the way. Have you beaten SIFU?
You beat it on easy mode.
Don't say that, man. You don't need to announce that. And I was about to say it anyways, man. You know, I'm gonna say it. Have you beaten the game, Dalan?
Don't you dare try and knock me down.
I don't care, sir. I don't care. Have you beaten it on normal, Mister? I don't need assist except on Rainbow Road. Have you beaten the game?
No, I've gotten to the 4th stage. I still need to. I don't even know what the 5th stage is yet. But hey, these bosses, like halfway through, and they decide to transform, and that boss fight suddenly gets so much harder.
Now, Dan, this is a game that came out maybe a year ago. I beat it within a week, and you're still trying to beat this game, man. I'm not trying to play a game for a year.
Mr. Easy Mode, whatever you say.
Doesn't matter. I got the story. I saw what the 5th level was. And I knew how to dodge. Simple logic puzzles here, Dalan. I'm Carlos Macias, the master of, what did you say, Dalan? I forgot.
Hey, man, don't ask me shit.
Oh, damn. Carlos, master of Don't Ask Me Shit, Macias. Signing off. Dalan Kirkwood up in the mountains. Thank you for joining me, sir. Don't owe you gas anymore.
Okay, Master of the Rat Race. That's what it was.
Oh, Master of the Rat Race. There you go. Deo Blas, King of Mid-Bay, King of Yosemite Mountain in recent times, from what I understand. Look at he's got the guns to prove it.
Challenge done.
Challenge accepted and accomplished. And Luis Mendez on the wheels of steel. Thank you for joining us, sir. We'll see you guys later.
Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 indeed. Yeah. Dude, that shit sold 60 million copies. Ridiculous amount.
Yes.
Shit.